Hi, Diane Davidson and Bill Weidecker here from the Fine Homes Group at Keller Williams. Welcome to our podcast, Good Deeds, Real Estate with a Mission. So we have a few things to discuss today. Hi, Bill. A few things to discuss today, one of which is about some recent legislation in New Hampshire. So Bill, I'll let you take that one away, and I'll finish up with some great news about Manchester.
Well, just a little background. Our industry every year in New Hampshire, the State House has hundreds of bills that come before the legislature, and lots of it pertain to real estate. And so our profession oversees a lot of it and sort of monitors some bills, supports some bills, and even opposes some bills that can have ill effects on our profession and on private property rights. Diane, come to mind just sort of note and are noteworthy. One is House Bill 44, and that is for properties that are serviced by municipal water and sewer. If you have a single family home, you can now get it approved. Well, providing the bill passes, you can now get it approved for up to 4 units in communities that have water and sewer, providing that you meet setback requirements, building code requirements, et cetera. We're a long ways away, but think of that. If that were the case, for those that chose to modify their property and add an accessory dwelling unit or 2 or 3, what that might do to the housing stock, and the fact that we've got such an inventory issue here in New Hampshire. So that's Bill 44, and it's going to be interesting to see. That's come before the legislature before. It didn't get very far. Don't know how it'll be this year, but I think the legislature is getting to a point where it's starting to believe, we've got a housing affordability issue. We've got a housing availability issue. In order to get better, we've got to get to different, and we've got to think of the legislature. Another one is with regard to rents. And while seemingly this bill, it's House Bill 95, sounds like it might be good for tenants in terms of keeping rents affordable, it would put some restrictions on the property owner and landlord as to how much notice they would have to give in certain communities for rental increases. And here's the issue. It would change from community to community, and it is a form of rent control. And I don't know that New Hampshire is going to have the appetite for that, in spite of the fact that there's a real affordability and availability issue with rental properties as well. It's just that the moment you say, well, you've got a mandate, you need to give at least 6 months notice or a year's notice if you're going to raise the rents on a property, that is controlling the rent. And when that's the case, it's been proven that it really doesn't contribute to availability or affordability. It has the negative, the opposite effect.
Yep.
So a couple of bills to think about, and we are keeping a hard look as an industry on all kinds of other bills, supporting some and monitoring others, and then opposing some. So just a couple of tidbits for you.
Interesting. I think by the way, 44 for 4 units, easy for me to remember, all the 4s. I have to buy a lottery ticket. But it strikes me that could be some opportunity for people to kind of downsize in place, right? If they have a large home, live on one level, subdivide a home, if you will. So sounds like could be interesting. So then the other thing I want to talk about is that, once again, little old Manchester, New Hampshire, according to the Realtor.com studies based on viewership and median price, and I can sort of read the criteria, but is the #1 city in the country. It's the 16th time in 22 months. Now that's a little bit of lag time because we only moved to Manchester to lead the charge. 34 months ago. So it took a little while for the buying public to catch up, but here we are in Manchester, in the #1 city to buy the hottest market. So it's no surprise that things fly off the market when they come on. And it really is not just about the city, it's about the surrounding area, surrounding towns too. So I think that's pretty incredible. And actually, out of the top 20, Springfield, Massachusetts, Providence, Rhode Island, and Worcester, Massachusetts were all included. All of those cities, their median prices were in the 4s, and all of those cities in the top 20, I think, speaks to sort of the area around Boston and its desirability. Because other than Springfield, they're each within an hour of Boston, so including Manchester and no traffic. Anyway, I thought that was exciting. So if you're out there and you're living in Manchester, you're You're in a good place.
No
I think
doubt
that's
about
all I
it. And-
have.
Yeah, and if you're living somewhere else and looking for a good place to live, Manchester's just great. It's a great place to live because of not only the city, but all of the surrounding communities. It's proximate. Boston, the coast, the White Mountains, New York City. We got it all. We got it all.
Planes, trains, and automobiles. Well, that's all for today. So thanks for the legislative update. Please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on your favorite podcast platform. Thanks.